Hey friends, welcome back to Grand Adventure. I'm your host, Mark Guido, and welcome to the Prescott, Arizona area. We're going to spend this episode showing you around all the wonderful things that the Prescott area has to offer. Some gorgeous lakes, beautiful mountain forests, desert, and some wonderful hikes. So stay tuned. So we're boondocking in the Prescott National Forest along South Senator Highway, just south of the city of Prescott by about 8 miles. This is a gorgeous area. We're up around 6,400 feet, so we've made a huge transition here from desert that was honestly getting a little warm up to cool mountain forest. The daily highs have been up around 60 degrees, lows in the upper 30s. It's been just beautiful. It has been awfully breezy the whole time we've been here, but it's been breezy all across northern Arizona. I really can't blame the location for that. Now they call it the South Senator Highway, but it's really not much of a highway. It's a narrow, twisting, paved road, 2 lanes until you get about a mile from camp. That's where it goes to dirt. Now, apparently the Prescott Basin area has been at times overused for camping. So the National Forest Service has restricted camping to designated campsites along these Forest Service roads. And to the Forest Service credit, most of the sites that we've seen that would be worth taking are marked for dispersed camping. So they've been very generous in allocating those sites, but they're just trying to restrict use to certain identifiable sites, and if the area is heavily used, I can't blame them for that. There is no charge, of course. We are just boondocking on Forest Service land. And one thing they did do in these designated sites is they actually put metal fire rings with grates, which is kind of a nice touch for a boondocking site. Easy access to town. If you're an RV traveler, I've got to tell you, there is virtually any kind of product or service that you could possibly need in that town. Virtually every big box store known to mankind, sometimes 2. There's a great RV dealership, and we need to give them a shout out right here. They're called Affinity Rv. They have propane fills for $1.80 a gallon. They have a free dump and station complete with potable water. Very, very friendly folks to RV travelers. They were very helpful when we stopped to pick up some propane and a part for our entry door that we were needing to replace. So they've been terrific. And $1.80 a gallon, I mean, that's less than half the price of what the U-Haul dealer here in Prescott is asking for a propane fill. So very, very, very fair on their pricing. Now, as you can hear, there are occasional ATVs that go by here, but it hasn't been that troublesome and it hasn't been that dusty. So no real complaints from us there. Now there's easy access to all kinds of outdoor recreation from here. We're in the Bradshaw Mountains. There's some great hikes we'll bring you on in the Bradshaw Mountains. There's another really cool hike that will bring you out to northwest of town out near Granite Mountain. And we'll show you around the city of Prescott a little bit as well. Boondocking along South Senator Road comes with the typical U.S. Forest Service 14-day stay limit. Other Forest Service roads in the immediate vicinity have similar established dispersed campsites as well. 8 miles south of our camp with a population of 40,000. Prescott was designated the capital of the Arizona Territory in 1864, before moving to Tucson only 3 years later. After another 10 years, Prescott became the territorial capital once again, before ceding that title to Phoenix. Wyatt Earp's brother Virgil served as a constable and watchman in Prescott starting in 1878, and Doc Holliday also lived there in the summer of 1880, prior to the involvement of both in the now infamous gunfight at the OK Corral in Tombstone. Many of the downtown buildings in Whiskey Row, adjacent to the town's past red light district, have been converted to boutiques, art galleries, bookstores, and restaurants. Many Victorian-style homes line Prescott's residential streets. Picturesque Watson Lake, just 4 miles north of Prescott, makes us wish that we didn't leave our kayak at home. The city park features fishing, boating, kayaking, canoeing, hiking, rock climbing, camping, and day picnicking. Something for everyone. South of our camp, South Senator Highway becomes even less of a highway. We're using it to hike to the lookout atop 7,979-foot Mount Union, the highest peak in the Bradshaw Mountains. Right outside of our trailer's dinette window sit several of these gorgeous and unusual alligator juniper trees, so named for the checkerboard pattern of their bark that resembles alligator skin. In the U.S., it's native to several southwestern states, including Arizona, New Mexico, and western Texas, growing in dry soils at altitudes ranging from 2,500 to nearly 8,900 feet. These trees are noteworthy, for we're about to hike to one particular gigantic specimen of this beautiful tree that holds a special story beneath its boughs. You may recall the Granite Mountain Hotshots, a group of wildland firefighters within the Prescott Fire Department. The 2017 film Only the Brave was based on the Granite Mountain Hotshots and the Yarnell Fire. On June 30th, 2013, 19 members of the 20-man group died fighting the Yarnell Hill Fire, which was ignited by lightning just a few miles southwest of here. When the fire overtook their position, it was the greatest loss of life for firefighters in a wildfire since 1933, the deadliest wildfire of any kind since 1991, and the greatest loss of firefighters in the United States since the September 11th attacks. Only several months earlier, the Dolce Fire erupted near where we're hiking, and the Granite Mountain Hotshots were tasked with defending this giant alligator juniper tree. They prepared a fire line around the tree and cleared away fuels before moving on to their next task to help extinguish the blaze. When the fire was finally out and the crew returned to the scene, the earth surrounding the giant juniper was all scorched, but the juniper was still standing unscathed. The Hotshots talked about how they wanted to return to this tree at the end of the summer to install a plaque to explain how they had saved it. Alas, they perished in the Yarnell fire before they had the chance to do so. But with the help of friends, family, and volunteers, the U.S. Forest Service stepped in to do what the Granite Mountain Hotshots wanted to do, but died before they could. This tree survived because of the crew's willingness to do whatever it took to get the job done. And this giant alligator juniper tree now represents their devotion to the job and the survival of their memory. So we truly hope that you've enjoyed coming along with us to Prescott, Arizona. Hopefully this has given you some inspiration to maybe visit the Prescott area in your RV as well. Now, if you're not yet a Grand Adventurer, make sure right now, go smash that little red subscribe button down there in the corner and ring that notification bell, because we put out new outdoor adventure travel videos each and every Wednesday. We'd also be honored if you shared Grand Adventure with your friends, family, and on social media. It's extremely important to us that if you like this video, please give us a big thumbs up down below. Also down below, you'll find the comments section where we'd love to always hear from you after each and every episode. Until next week, please remember, life is nothing but a grand adventure. We'll see you soon.